Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the wrap up of all of the products that I want to pan in 2023. At the beginning of the year I made a list of everything that I want to pan this year, and I'm going to let you know how I've done and if I was able to finish everything, what I managed to finish, and if there's anything else left over. So I have quite a few products to get through, so I'm going to jump straight into it. But before I do so, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So we're going to start with eyeliners, and I have two eyeliners that I wanted to get out of my collection this year, which are here. As you can see, I haven't finished either of them, but let's talk through them. The first one is my Rimmel eyeliner in the shade Taupe, which I still think in my collection. It's still hanging in there. It looks like this. So yeah, this one I have not finished, which means that the first product I haven't been able to get out of my collection yet, which is completely fine. The second eyeliner though is the MAC eyeliner in the shade Teddy, and this one, as you can see, hasn't been finished either. However, I have ended up decluttering this one from my collection. This was supposed to be thrown in the rubbish ages ago, but I somehow left it at the bottom of my drawer, and I found it now when I was picking out all the products. But yeah, this one has been decluttered. It is going to go out of my collection. I'm counting this one as complete because it's no longer in my collection, which obviously was the goal for the end of the year. But yeah, this one is just way too old. I don't use eyeliners like this very often, and that's the reason for me decluttering it. The next thing that I wanted to finish this year was an eyeshadow base, and that was my P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 02. This one I was able to finish too. I finished this one quite early in the year. It's only air left in here. It's completely finished, but yeah, that one is completed. For blushes, I had two blushes that I wanted to get through this year, which are right here. The first one is my Coralista blush from Benefit. And as you can see, I was able to get through this one. If you followed my yellow product pan, you're probably going to see a lot of these products repeated, but this one I finished in that project. Same with the last one actually, which is the most recent finish, and that was the Dior Rosy Glow brush, which looks like this. Again, finished through my yellow product pan. I had two highlighters that I wanted to get through this year. The first one I wasn't able to finish, and that one is my Benefit What's Up highlighter. I have this much left in it, so I was able to work on it a little bit this year, but I wasn't able to finish it completely. And it is because I realized this was too deep for me to use in the winter time, so I'd rather save this one for next summer. So this one's going to be rolling over to next year's things I want to pan, but yeah, unfortunately I wasn't able to get through it this year. The second highlighter though is my Mary Luminizer, which you all probably know if you follow my product pan, that I was able to get through. It is such an exciting one. This one took almost 2 years of consistent panning to get through. So that is really, really exciting that this one now is done and I can move it out of my collection. For bronzer, I had one bronzer that I wanted to get through this year, and that was my City Bronzer from Maybelline in the shade Medium. And as you can see, I was able to finish this one too. This one was pretty new at the beginning of the year, but I wanted to use it up. It took quite a long time to do because it was so brand new. But I'm happy to have this one out. The main reason why I wanted to was because the packaging broke. So yeah, I'm happy to have this one out now because I don't really like things that are broken packaging, if that makes sense. So yeah, this one is now finished. For foundations, I had two foundations as well that I wanted to finish this year. The first one was my EX1 foundation. As you can see, this is it right now. So I was able to finish it. You can see it was an airless pump going up. So this one is completely finished. You can maybe see it better there. But this one I had in my empties bag and I accidentally stepped on it, which is why it's now crushed. So luckily everything was up here and no product was on the side, so it wasn't messy at all. But yeah, this one needs to go in the recycling now before I stab myself with this product. Then the second foundation that I wanted to get for this year was my Garnier BB Cream in Medium. And again, this is another one that I finished. I worked on this one in my yellow product pan. And it took quite a while because it's a very deep foundation. So I ended up using this one as a mixer foundation. And I really, really like this one. Yeah, I don't know if they make this one anymore, but I would recommend it if they do because it looked really nice on the skin. Lastly, for base products, and before we move into eyes and lips, I have primers. And I had 3 primers that I wanted to finish. We had the e.l.f. Hydrating Primer Serum. We had the Becca Under Eye Anti-Fatigue Primer. And the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewdrops. Longest name ever, but I wanted to finish all 3 of these. And I was able to get through all of these, which is really, really exciting. All of them are empty. Next up, we had 2 products from Stila, which were my Last Standing Glitter and Glows. I had the shade Kitten Karma and Sea Siren left. And the shade Kitten Karma I was able to finish. It looks like this. So this one is done. However, the shade Sea Siren, I wasn't able to get through. I actually decanted it into one of my Colourpop Super Shock containers. So I'll show you how much I have left of this one now. This one is quite full. You can see it right there. So I'm going to work on this one again next year. It's going to roll over because I do want to get this one out because they both kind of were very dried up. This one is better though, and this one works quite well as like a dried eyeshadow rather than being rehydrated. So I'm probably going to keep working on this one as like a regular eyeshadow, but I do want to get this one out in 2024. But again, 50% success rate with these two. So that is my Stila Glitter and Glows. Lastly, for like potted things, we had a Super Shock shadow from Colourpop in the shade Revolution. And this one I was able to get through, which is really, really exciting. So that is another empty eyeshadow. Really nice to see. Then lastly, for eyeshadows, I have a few singles that I wanted to finish this year. And I put them all into this magnetic palette so you can get an overview quickly. So you can see them right here. I was only able to finish two, and this one was a Wet n Wild shade from the Comfort Zone palette. It was like a light green, so that one I finished. And then right underneath it, we have an eyeshadow from Isadora, which I was also able to finish. It was just like a cream shadow that was from one of the palette potted. Then we have four shadows here, which I wasn't able to get through. This one I worked on for a little bit until it was too similar to what is in my palette at the moment, which is the Huda Beauty Gold Obsessions palette. So that is the shade Labyrinth from Colourpop. Next to that is the shade Magical from Colourpop. Then we have an Isadora shade here again from the same palette as the cream one. And this is just something that I'm calling light brown. It doesn't have a name. And then lastly, we have the shade Turbo Mielka from Glam Shop. And that one I'm still working on. I'm hoping to get this one done again in 2024. So that one is one that's rolling over. And these three are going back into my collection. So lastly, we have lip products to talk about, and I have everything in here, at least most of them. I will talk through a couple when I get to them. So first up, we had a lip gloss from Pat McGrath in the shade Lavendering. This one really wasn't my favorite color, but I was able to finish this one, which is really exciting. So that is the first lip product. Then we had two products from NYX. We had a lip gloss in the shade Apple Strudel, one of their bottle glosses, and then one of their soft matte lip creams in the shade Antwerp, and I was able to finish both of these as well. The next couple of things I no longer have with me for different reasons, so let's talk through them. First up, we had the Revlon Kissable Balm Stain in Lovesick and the Revlon Candy Apple Lip Butter, which I have both decluttered. So those two are gone because of the declutters. Then I had 3 MAC lipsticks that I back to MAC. One of them was in the shade Vegas Volt, which was another declutter, so I didn't use that one up. But the other two I did. So I finished up the shade Snob and the shade Honey Love. Both of them I panned completely. But again, I no longer have them because they've been back to MAC. So yeah, out of those 5 that I don't have with me, I finished 2 and decluttered 3. Then we have one more lip product that I wasn't able to get through. I didn't work on this one at all this year. This one is the Soap & Glory Sexy Mother Pucker Gloss Stick in the shade Futuristic. It looks like this. Again, I'm going to try to finish this one next year instead. The next one I had was my Smashbox Be Legendary lipstick in the shade Fig. It was just like plummy kind of shade. It looks like this, and I finished this one too. It was just a mini. Also from Smashbox, one thing that I wasn't able to finish was this one here, which is their Insta Matte Transformer, and this one I haven't worked on that long. I used it a couple times, but it's another one that I'm going to try to finish next year instead. I just wasn't able to get to it this year. Then we have Chanel lipstick. This is the shade Pimpante, which was just like a light kind of corally shade. You can see it right there. And this one I finished too. I had 2 lip liners, which I finished both of them. We had the Essence lip liner in Satin Mauve, which was this type of color. And then we had this random red lip liner from a brand called Raphael. I don't know where it was from or anything, but yeah, I finished this one too. So success rate with my lip liners. The next lipstick I have is my Becca lipstick in Dusk. And this one is just like a nude kind of color. You can see it right there. This one I was also able to finish. It was a really nice kind of shade. It was very creamy. It wasn't like a perfect nude for me, but it worked quite well, and I worked through this whole thing this year. It was basically brand new this year, so that one is finished. Then lastly that I have to show with you is this lipstick right here, which is from Colourpop. And this is also one of their Matte X lipsticks in the shade She Bad, which again was a really light nude. This one I used mainly to mix with other things, but this one is also finished. So those are all of the things that I have to share with you, but I have 2 more things to talk about. First up, we have my YSL Rouge Pure Couture lipstick in number 13. I basically finished this one. I had like the tiniest bit left, maybe like 10 uses. and then I lost it. So I'm counting that one as an empty, I'm counting as completed. So that is the first one, but I no longer have it. And then the last thing I have is my Sephora lip cream in the shade 25, which was like a orangey rusty shade, and I did end up decluttering that one. So those are all of the things that I have been working on this year. Let me calculate quickly how many things I successfully managed to get out of my collection so I can share with you the percentage. So I just calculated, I was able to get out 78% of my list this year, which is really good. Again, some of those things were decluttered, but overall, more than 75%, more than 3/4 of everything that I put into this project, I was able to finish, which again is really good, especially because I was very ambitious with both lip products and eye products. So that is going to be it for today, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I will be doing another kind of project like this next year, but I'm up in the game and I'm actually going to do 50 products. I don't know why I'm doing 10, but 50 products that I want to finish next year. So you can expect that video coming up soon. But otherwise, I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye, guys.